Chinese proverbs and sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. Facts beat eloquence. A team of horses will struggle to chase down a spoken word. As distance tests a horse's strength, time reveals a person's character. Without standards, no boundaries are set. Punishing those who come before stops those who come after from doing something. Think thrice before you act. Good medicine tastes bitter. With truth on your side, you can go anywhere. Without truth, you can't take a tiny step. The player is lost, the watcher is lucid. "10 years to cultivate wood, 100 years to cultivate a man." Food is the first priority of the people. Repay good with good. Deliberately vague and deflective. While some are happy, some are anxious. A person leaves a reputation, as a swallow leaves its call. Everything's ready except the east wind. Small as it is, the sparrow has all the vital organs. Guilin's scenery's best on earth. When a mute eats dumplings, he knows how many he has eaten. A happy occasion gladdens the spirit. Two benefits from one action. Like sitting on a carpet of needles. When adversity comes, receive it favorably. Replace weapons with jade and silk. This ground doesn't have 300 taels of silver. Soldiers don't hate deceit. The timber's already a boat, the rice is cooked. A body acts according to physical strength. Great wisdom can seem foolish. The quick-footed climb first. Love at first sight. Long for a heart, never be apart. Hold hands with you, grow old with you. Love isn't about having, it's about enjoying. Love the house and its crow. Radishes and greens, each has those who love them. Birds flying in the sky as one, branches growing on the earth as one. People in love become spouses in the end. In a lover's eye is the foremost beauty. With love, water is enough. Without love, food doesn't satisfy. It takes more than one cold day for a river to freeze a meter deep. Don't miss opportunities. Time doesn't come round again. When people work with one heart, they can even move Mount. Tai. All things are difficult at the start. Failure is the mother of success. It just needs hard work to grind an iron rod into a needle. Water drops pierce stone, rope saws cut wood. A day's planning is done at dawn. A 1,000-li journey starts with a footfall. Peace replaces extreme evil. Green is from blue, and better than blue. An old war horse in the stable still longs to gallop 1,000 li. Enduring deepening pain is how man ascends. The first to arrive is the first to succeed. Watch till clouds part to see the moonlight. Adversity yields flair. Suffer a mote, grow in wisdom. You can't get fat with one mouthful. Wind isn't always favorable, soldiers aren't always victorious. Starlight shines far. An aggrieved army is sure to win. If you don't do stupid things, you won't end up in tragedy. Blessings come in disguise. If small holes aren't fixed, then big holes will bring hardship. Water flows in only to flow out. It's better to walk thousands of miles than to read thousands of books. Too many cooks spoil the broth. A smile dispels many worries. Happiness is the best cosmetic. A good name is better than a good face. A bad beginning makes a bad ending. Keep the general goal in sight while tackling daily tasks. Every step makes a footprint. Each has his own task, and nobody is dispensable. While there are green hills, there'll be wood to burn. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. No man is a perfect man, no gold is sufficiently bare. It is easy to find 1,000 soldiers, but hard to find a good general. A prime minister's mind should be broad enough for poling a boat. Ignorance is bliss. Disaster comes from the careless talk. If people are of one heart, even less can become gold. One who stands straight doesn't fear a crooked shadow. Timely return of a loan makes it easier to borrow a second time. A candle lights others and consumes itself. You reap what you sow. Those who just want speed don't succeed. To know a fish go to the water, to know a bird's song go to the mountains. Listening to a lord's remarks is better than reading books for 10 years. Man cannot be judged by looks, seas cannot be measured by the cup. Fate brings people together from far apart. A gentleman's friendship is insipid as water. When entering a locality, follow the local customs. In hardship, we see true friendship. An intimate friend is hard to find. Numerous friends means no deep friendship. Men of different principles don't work well together. The harvest moon is brightest, every festival's homesickness multiplies. When children travel far, mothers worry. Wishing us long life, though sharing moonlight from afar. If a family is harmonious, everything will go well. Every family has its problems. Even an upright official finds it hard to settle a family quarrel. Where there's a father, there's his son. Family shames must not be spread abroad. If you don't run the family, you don't know the value of fuel and rice. Gold and silver nests can't beat one's family kennel. A book is a pocket garden. Live till you're old, and study till you're old. good book is like a good friend. An inch of time is worth an inch of gold, but an inch of gold may not buy an inch of time. A good memory can't beat a bad pen. Flowers may bloom again, you're never young again. Learning without thought is deceptive, thought without learning is perilous. When using books, you'll regret reading few. Reading requires concentration. A word may be worth a fortune. Strict teachers produce fine students. The dragon flies and the phoenix dances. A dragon's and a horse's spirit. A muddled mix of fish and dragons. Dragons soaring and tigers leaping. Carriages like a stream and horses like a dragon. A dragon's pool and a tiger's den. Paint a dragon and dot the I. Lord ye loves dragons. A carp has jumped the dragon's gate. Even a dragon struggles to control a snake in its native haunt.
The bird who has eaten cannot fly with the bird that is hungry. Cherish youth, but trust old age. Wisdom comes only when you stop looking for it and start living the life the Creator intended for you. Not every sweet root gives birth to sweet grass. Take only what you need and leave the land as you found it. It is no longer good enough to cry peace. We must act peace, live peace, and live in peace. When a man moves away from nature, his heart becomes hard. Beware of the man who does not talk and the dog that does not bark. Our pleasures are shallow, our sorrows are deep. It does not require many words to speak the truth. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. If a man is as wise as a serpent, he can afford to be as harmless as a dove. Poverty is a noose that strangles humility and breeds disrespect for God and man. Remember that your children are not your own, but are lent to you by the Creator. Walk lightly in the spring. Mother Earth is pregnant. Ask questions from your heart, and you will be answered from the heart. There is no death, only a change of worlds. What is life? It is a flash of firefly in the night. It is the breath of a buffalo in the wintertime. It is as the little shadow that runs across the grass and loses itself in the sunset. Only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish been caught, and the last stream poisoned, will we realize we cannot eat money. There are two wolves fighting inside all of us. The first one is evil. The second one is good. Which wolf will win? The one you feed. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries, and you rejoice. It is better to have less thunder in the mouth and more lightning in the hand. Listen, or your tongue will make you deaf. Seek wisdom, not knowledge. Knowledge is of the past. Wisdom is of the future. The weakness of the enemy makes our strength. Do not judge your neighbor until you walk 2 moons in his moccasins. They are not dead who live in the hearts they leave behind. There is nothing as eloquent as a rattlesnake's tail. It is less of a problem to be poor than to be dishonest. A brave man dies but once, a coward many times. Make my enemy brave and strong, so that if defeated, I will not be ashamed.
Old Norse Proverbs and Sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. Wake early if you want another man's life or land. No lamb for the lazy wolf. No battle is won in bed. Never walk away from home ahead of your axe and sword. You can't feel a battle in your bones or foresee a fight. Great deeds and ill deeds often fall within each other's shadow. Many hands make light work. A wounded coward lies low. Barking dogs seldom bite. It is darkest before dawn. There is more honor in accumulating little by little than in reaching for the sky and ending up flat on your face. A person should tend to the oak if they want to live under it. A fair wind at our back is best. If you cannot bite, never show your teeth. A man without wisdom is lacking in much. Ill is the result of letting fear rule thine actions. It is an old custom for the wisest to give way. A person should not agree today to what they'll regret tomorrow. Old love does not corrode. Let no man glory in the greatness of his mind, but rather keep watch o'er his wits. Cautious and silent let him enter a dwelling, to the heedful comes seldom harm, for none can find a more faithful friend than the wealth of mother wit. It is fortunate to be favored with praise and popularity. It is dire luck to be dependent on the feelings of your fellow man. One should listen when an old dog barks. The unwise man is awake all night, worries over and again. When morning rises he is restless still, his burden as before. Better to die with honor than live with shame. Let not thy mind be overmuch crossed by unwise men at thronged meetings of folk, for oft these speak worse than they wot of, lest thou be called a dastard, and art minded to think that thou art even as is said, slay such an one on another day, and so reward his ugly talk. There seldom is a single wave. What is hidden in snow is revealed at thaw. Be your friend's true friend. Return gift for gift. Repay laughter with laughter again, but betrayal with treachery. Gold is little comfort for the kinsman dead. Too clean has no taste. Trust not him whose father, brother, or other kin you have slain, no matter how young he be, for often grows the wolf in the child. Stand by your own trial and not by what others say. You have to learn to crawl before you can walk. Moderately wise a man should be, not too crafty or clever. A learned man's heart whose learning is deep seldom sings with joy. A person's actions are often worse than their intentions. A burnt child keeps away from fire. Never a whit should one blame another for a folly which many befalls. The might of love makes sons of men into fools who once were wise. To take up great resolutions, and then to lay them aside, only ends in dishonor. Even in the sheath the sword must be sharp, so too must the mind and the spirit be within the body. Kinsman to kinsman should be true. Boatless man is tied to the land. Nothing good can happen to people who break their solemn vows. Too much ale and a man's heart is laid open for all to see. Cattle die, kinsmen die, all men are mortal. Words of praise will never perish, nor a noble name. With many who come to power and honor, pride keeps pace with promotion. Better to fight and fall than to live without hope. You will reach your destination even though you travel slowly. There is no bad weather, only bad clothing. Long is it remembered what youth has gained. Not every cloud which darkens the day brings rain. A fool will gape when he goes to a friend, and mumble only, or mope, but pass him the ale cup, and all in a moment the mind of that man is shown. Go you must. No guest shall stay in one place forever. Love will be lost if you sit too long at a friend's fire. Wisdom is welcome wherever it comes from. Oftentimes it is not numbers that wins the victory, but those who fare forward with the most vigor. Who can't defend the wealth they have must die, or share with the rover bold. A bad rower blames the oar. Fight your foes in the field, nor be burnt in your house. Only dead fish follow the stream. Always rise to an early meal, but eat your fill before a feast. If you're hungry, you have no time to talk at the table. Merely book makes none wise. Oft one finds, when the foe he meets, that he is not the bravest of all. Never cheat your master. Bare is the back of a brotherless man. Stubbornness brings either greater humiliation or greater honor. The later in the evening, the more beautiful the people. One must howl with the wolves one is among. Wise he is deemed who can question well, and also answer back. The sons of men can no secret make of the tidings told in their midst. Who can say what sorrow seemingly carefree folk bear to their life's end? When truth and fairness are different from what is law, better it is to follow truth and fairness. Ill it is to take love from another man's wife. Where wolf's ears are, wolf's teeth are near. Time runs like the river current. It is better to stand and fight. If you run, you will only die tired. No one is a total fool if he knows when to hold his tongue. Ill it is to abandon honor and integrity in exchange for injustice and greed. Only a coward waits to be taken like a lamb from the fold or a fox from a trap. Often is there regret for saying too much, and seldom regret for saying too little. When men meet foes in fight, better is stout heart than sharp sword. Wise Georgian proverbs and sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. Whatever the wind brings he takes away with him. He who is in a hurry always arrives late. The rich eat when they want, the poor when they can. You can conquer the whole world with words, but not with drawn swords. You can buy M, but they don't stay bought. You can better drink from a small well with soft water than from the salty sea. You cackle in our place, but you lay your eggs at someone else's place. Whoever I love is the most beautiful. When you put your nose into the water, your cheeks get wet as well. When 3 people say you are drunk, go to sleep. When they came to milk the cow, she said, I am an ox, and when they came to harness her, she said, I am a cow. Thousands of men were murdered because of their beautiful wives. The wolf told the dog, it does not matter that I run and you follow me, what matters is that when I turn around you will be next to me. The tall one wouldn't bend, the short one wouldn't stretch, and the kiss was lost. The smile of a rose uplifts the nightingale. The rooster said, I shall cry, but whether the sun rises God knows. The right balance depends on the weigher. The mother said, I will die, the wife said, I will marry, and in the meantime the house is full of dirt. The lucky fellow loses his wife, the unlucky fellow loses his horse. The fox which was caught in a snare called, If I shall not get the whole chicken, I will not be satisfied with the drumstick. The eyeless ant asked God, Give me eyelashes. The dog was asked, Why do you bark? To scare the wolves. Why do you wag your tail? What do you think? Am I not afraid of wolves? The cat would eat fish, but would not wet her feet. The cat which did not reach the sausage said, Anyhow it is Friday. The buzzing of the flies does not turn them into bees. Only the dumb can silence the chatterer. One dirty pig pollutes others. One blind man followed the other, and they both fell into the ditch. Mewing cats catch no mice. Men prefer the wife of another, but love their own sons more. In a place without dogs they teach the cats to bark. If you give a man nuts, then give him something to crack them with. If you forgive the fox for stealing your chickens, he will take your sheep. If women were really good, God would be married. If the moon helps me, I will scoff at the stars. The cat which did not reach the sausage said, "Anyhow, it is Friday." The buzzing of the flies does not turn them into bees. Only the dumb can silence the chatterer. One dirty pig pollutes others. One blind man followed the other, and they both fell into the ditch. Mewing cats catch no mice. Men prefer the wife of another, but love their own sons more. In a place without dogs they teach the cats to bark. If you give a man nuts, then give him something to crack them with. If you forgive the fox for stealing your chickens, he will take your sheep. If women were really good, God would be married. If the moon helps me, I will scoff at the stars. I have a lot to say, said the fish, but my mouth is full of water. God laughs at man's proposal. God is the comfort of the poor. Give a blind man eyes, and he will ask for eyebrows. Do not blame the sun for the darkness of the night. Catch the bird before you build a cage. Blood vessels are not cleaned with blood. Beware of the front of a bull, the back of a horse, and both sides of a blind man. Better your own copper than another man's gold. A Tartar says to a Tartar, "Call me Aga, and I will call you Aga, and we shall both be Agas." A mother will understand what her dumb son says. A golden plate is worth nothing to me when my blood is spilled on it. Wise Turkish proverbs and sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. While horse is strong, travel to see places. A man fails 7 times and rises 8 times. Do not start if afraid. Once begun, do not be afraid. If mind is clean, fate is good. If you endeavor, the fate will favor you. Union is source of success. While farther alive to get to know people. The living are denied a table, the dead get a whole coffin. The fish sees the bait, not the hook. A man sees not the danger, only the profit. Even foul water will quench fire. You will have 4 nights taking a shortcut. You can't put 2 saddles on the same horse. Wise men talk about ideas, intellectuals about facts, and the ordinary man talks about what he eats. Who cleans up the dirt washes away happiness. Two bears in one cave will not end up well. Times are not always the same, the grass is not always green. There are men who walk through the woods and see no trees. The winner has many friends, the loser has good friends. The supreme treasure is knowledge, the middle treasure is children, and the lowest treasure is material wealth. The more you listen, the more you give yourself room for doubt. The meat-biting tooth is in the mouth, the man-biting tooth is in the soul. The living denied a table, the dead get a whole coffin. The fish sees the bait, not the hook. A man sees not the danger, only the profit. The donkey recognizes the tracks of a horse. The distance between heaven and earth is no greater than one thought. Rich is he who has no debts, fortunate he who lives without handicap. One idiot can ask more questions than 10 wise men can answer. One finger short of being crazy. Once you have locked your door, you are the emperor in your own domain. Of the good we have an understanding, 4 fools we keep a stick upstairs. Men and women sleep on the same pillow, but they have different dreams. It's difficult to take a wolf cub without bringing in the whole pack. It is easier to catch an escaped horse than to take back an escaped word. In a good word there are 3 winters' warmth, in one malicious word there is pain for 6 frosty months. If you want to build high, you must dig deep. If you are sick, think about your life. If you are better, think about your gold. If you are going to steal bells, plug your ears. If the cairn were not built, the magpie wouldn't have perched. He who wants to build high must dig deep. He who drinks, dies. He who does not drink, dies as well. Greed keeps men forever poor. Even the abundance of this world will not make them rich. Fox will starve to death while waiting under an ox. Even foul water will put out a fire. Each country's customs are different, just as each meadow's grass is different. Don't undo your bootlaces until you have seen the river. Don't look for bad things in the good that you do. Calf is not grown, but he thinks he can make bull's dung. A tiger wearing a bell will starve. A donkey that carries me is worth more than a horse that kicks me. A cat likes to eat fresh fish, but it will not go into the water. The last camel gets the heavy load. A bad person's voice is loud. Wolves come during rain. Suffer with your own rule, rather than frolic under someone else's rule. Man's happiness lies in vacant steps. Push out the ghee butter that entered your mouth. Bad dogs can't stomach ghee butter. I'd rather give it to our dog than the neighbor's dog. Whether the rich eat carrots or candles doesn't concern you. Like the mouse that hanged itself for the state. Turkish proverbs, quotes, and sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. Not knowing is not shameful, not asking is. A fool dreams of wealth, a wise man of happiness. Fruit of a tree falls near its roots. A cup of coffee commits 1 to 40 years of friendship. If one is far away, one also gets far from the heart. Ability has no school. He that falls by himself never cries. The devil tempts all men, but idle men tempt the devil. Man is harder than iron, stronger than stone, and more fragile than a rose. He who has no food has no authority. Beauty passes, wisdom remains. You harvest what you sow. Look at the mother before marrying the daughter. Keep the tongue in your mouth a prisoner. Who gossips to you will gossip of you. What flares up fast, extinguishes soon. The fly is small, but it is big enough to make one sick. He who seeks a faultless friend remains friendless. Profit is the brother of loss. One eats, another watches, that's how revolutions are born. In the company of the blind, close your eyes. Measure 1,000 times, cut once. A heart in love with beauty never grows old. What a man suffers is the punishment of his tongue. Your arrival is lovely. The devil's feather. Did he throw a stone so his arm got tired? May they grow old with one pillow. The bells on their hems are ringing. His shoe has been thrown onto the roof. Fish-fleshed. Of the air and water. If he waves his hand, 50 will come. The corner of my liver. May the pear be cooked on the tree and fall into my mouth. It's good that you were born. Give empty. A hand is superior to another person's hand. A sunken fish goes sideways. Coming over just for a light. The mosque is a ruin, but the mirab is standing. May it be the past. May you not be touched by the evil eye. May it be auspicious. May God let him, her grow up with both a mom and dad. May it be easy for you. May you live long. They've caught a cold in their head. May it bring your health. May your head stay healthy. The first pain of my eye. Health to your hand. One bad experience is worth 1,000 warnings. May you go laughing. Do not search for a calf under a bull. The dog that barks does not bite. The cock that crows too early gets his head cut off. A defeated wrestler never tires of wrestling again. He who starts up in anger sits down with a loss. Sharp vinegar only damages its container. Heart endures when eye does not see. If one is far away, one also gets far away from the heart. You harvest what you sow. One who sows wind will reap hurricane. It is not disgraceful to ask, it is disgraceful no to know. A bachelor feels like a sultan. The fly is small, but it can upset your stomach. It won't fill a fig seed. Storm in a walnut shell. Love is daring. To the raven's eye, its chickens look like falcons. The sheep separated from the flock gets eaten by the wolf. An ember burns where it falls. An overprotected eye gets the speck. What a man is at 7 is also what he is at 70. The tree branch should be bent when it is young. It takes 2 hands to make a sound. Let water run unnoticed under straw. Look at the mother before marrying the daughter. Let the horse die from too much barley. A camel for a dime, a camel for 1,000 dimes. One who does not slap his children will slap his knees. One who handles honey licks his fingers. You can't run a water mill by carrying water. Drop by drop, it will make a pond. Liar's candle will last till evening. Burning a bed cover for a louse. A boxwood comb for a bald head. The one who asks has one side of his face dark, the one who refuses to give has both sides. The one who burns his mouth for drinking milk too hot, eats even yogurt carefully. Every man has his own style of eating yogurt. Free vinegar is sweeter than honey. A cup of coffee commits 1 to 40 years of friendship. A knife wound heals, but a tongue wound festers. A man is as wise as his head, not his years. A tribulation is better than 100 warnings. Beauty passes, wisdom remains. Do not roll up your trousers before reaching the stream. Dogs bark, but the caravan goes on. Best Japanese proverbs and sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. A bad wife spells 100 years of bad harvest. A frog in a well does not know the great sea. A kite breeding a hawk. A monk for just 3 days. A samurai, even when he has not eaten, uses his toothpick. After the rain, earth hardens. An apprentice near a temple will recite the scriptures untaught. Big similarity, small difference. Child of a frog is a frog. Clear sky, cultivate, rainy, reading. Country is in ruins, and there are still mountains and rivers. Don't let your daughter-in-law eat your autumn eggplants. Due to the presence of fools, wise people stand out. Dumplings over flowers. Dumplings rather than flowers. Entering the village, obey the village. Even a fool has one talent. Even monkeys fall from trees. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Giving birth to a baby is easier than worrying about it. Gold coins to a cat. Half an hour in a spring evening is worth 1,000 gold pieces. If you do not enter the tiger's cave, you will not catch its cub. If you make a mistake, don't hesitate to correct it. It is foolish to deal with a fool. It is the same life whether we spend it crying or laughing. Luck exists in the leftovers. Not speaking is the flower. One cannot quarrel without an opponent. One who chases after two hares won't catch even one. People want to avoid the dew before they become wet. Poke a bush, a snake comes out. Spilled water will not return to the tray. The eyes are the mirror of the soul. The first glass a man drinks wine, with the second glass the wine drinks the wine, with the third glass the wine drinks the man. The hawk with talent hides its talons. The more stupid the child, the dearer it is. The neighbor's lawn is green. The soul of a 3-year-old until 100. The stake that sticks out gets hammered down. There are even bugs that eat knotweed. Time flies like an arrow. Unless an idiot dies, he won't be cured. Wake from death and return to life. A fog cannot be dispelled by a fan. A good husband is healthy and absent. A good Jack makes a good Jill. A good sword is the one left in its scabbard. A man in love mistakes a pimple for a dimple. A mended lid to a cracked pan. A merchant's happiness hangs upon chance, winds, and waves. A merry companion on the road is as good as a nag. A pig used to dirt turns its nose up at rice. A round egg can be made square according to how you cut it. Words would be harsh according to how you speak them. A single arrow is easily broken, but not 10 in a bundle. Adversity is the foundation of virtue. Affinity is a mysterious thing, but it is spicy. Afraid of his own shadow. After victory, tighten your helmet cord. All married women are not wives. An accomplishment sticks to a person. An excess of courtesy is discourtesy. An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. Bad and good are intertwined like rope. Beat your wife on the wedding day, and your married life will be happy. Beaten with his own rod. Better go without medicine than call in an unskilled physician. Darkness reigns at the foot of the lighthouse. Deceive the rich and powerful if you will, but don't insult them. Deceiving a deceiver is no knavery. Don't stay long when the husband is not at home. Even a sheet of paper has two sides. Even a thief takes 10 years to learn his trade. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Fast ripe, fast rotten. First the man takes a drink, then the drink takes a drink, then the drink takes the man. First things first. Forgiving the unrepentant is like drawing pictures on water. Getting money is like digging with a needle. Spending it is like water soaking into the sand. Had the pheasant not screamed, it wouldn't have been shot. If a man be great, even his dog will wear a proud look. If a man deceive me once, shame on him. If he deceive me twice, shame on me. If man has no tea in him, he is incapable of understanding truth and beauty. If money be not thy servant, it will be thy master. If my shirt knew my design, I'd burn it. If neither animal nor vegetable you be, then mineral you are. If one man praises you, 1,000 will repeat the praise. If the father is a frog, the son will be a frog. If you believe everything you read, better not read. If you understand everything, you must be misinformed. If you want a thing done well, do it yourself. It is a beggar's pride that he is not a thief. It is a blessing in disguise. Knowledge without wisdom is a load of books on the back of an ass. Laughter cannot bring back what anger has driven away. Laughter is the hiccup of a fool. Life without endeavor is like entering a jewel mine and coming out with empty hands. Life's not all beer and skittles. Luck is like having a rice dumpling fly into your mouth. Money grows on the tree of persistence. Money has no smell. My skirt with tears is always wet, I have forgotten to forget. My son is my son till he gets him a wife, but my daughter's my daughter all the days of her life. Never rely on the glory of the morning or the smiles of your mother-in-law. Never trust the advice of a man in difficulty. One dog yelping at nothing will set 10,000 straining at their collars. One kind word can warm 3 winter months. One kindness is the price of another. One who smiles rather than rages is always the stronger. One written word is worth 1,000 pieces of gold. Only lawyers and painters can turn white to black. Silence surpasses speech. Silent worms dig holes in the walls. Sleeping people can't fall down. The absent get further off every day. The crow that mimics a cormorant is drowned. The day you decide to do it is your lucky day. The go-between wears out 1,000 sandals. The inarticulate speak longest. The mouth is the door of evil. The nail that sticks its head up is the one that gets hit. The nail that sticks out is hammered down. The nail that sticks up will be hammered down. The pebble in the brook secretly thinks itself a precious stone. The reverse side also has a reverse side. The smaller the margin, the greater the turnover. The smallest good deed is better than the grandest good intention. The best Persian proverbs and sayings. Please don't forget to subscribe. Whoever has no children has no light in his eyes. Whatever you eat will rot, whatever you give will blossom into a rose. When the tide of misfortune moves over you, even jelly will break your teeth. Do not use words that are too big for your mouth. To the ant, a few drops of dew are a flood. Life is like perpetual drunkenness, the pleasure passes, but the headache remains. When fortune turns against you, even jelly breaks your teeth. Who does not beat his own child will later beat his own breast. It is a wise man who can laugh at his own jokes. Thinking well is wise, planning well, wiser, but doing well is the wisest and best of all. The tears of the roasting meat kindle the fire even more. In at one ear and out at the other. In the hotel of decisions the guests sleep well. I can only get better if I have good friends. The arrow that has left the bow never returns. A child is a bridge to heaven. You cannot hang everything on one nail. It is a real compliment that comes from an enemy. If you can give me no ointment for my wound, can you help me by not rubbing salt in? Every man is the architect of his own fortune. Once I had the strength but no wisdom, now I have the wisdom but no strength. The larger a man's roof, the more snow it collects. He whose heart is aroused by love will never die. You cannot applaud with one hand. The drowning man is not troubled by rain. An arrow can be pulled out of a wound, but a hurtful word stays forever in your heart. He who has only one enemy meets him everywhere. The leek resembles its seed, and little Hassan takes after his father. Our real grave is not in the ground, but in men's hearts. When the cat and the mouse agree, the grocer is ruined. With a sweet tongue of kindness, you can drag an elephant by a hair. Women are just like cats, they always land on their feet. The virtuous will be praised but not envied. If the Sultan demands 5 eggs, let his soldiers roast 1,000 chickens. Acquaintance without patience is like a candle with no light. The strictness of the teacher is better to bear than the prejudice of the father. You don't put a wooden pot on the fire twice. There are 3 things that have to be done quickly: burying the dead, opening the door for a stranger, and fixing your daughter's wedding. God gives to us according to the measure of our hearts. There is no need for fish in an empty pond. The world is a rose, smell it and pass it on to your friends. As soon as a man gets new trousers, he thinks about a new wife. Epigrams succeed where epics fail. A thief is a king till his court. The lover who gives you her body but not her heart is generous with thornless roses. While yearning for excess, we lose the necessities. Do well the little things now, so shall great things come to thee by and by asking to be done. The earth is a host who kills his guests. If a fool borrows a book, cut off his hand, but cut off both hands of the fool who brings it back. A greedy man is always poor. With one ear he hears, and with the other he dismisses. A stone thrown at the right time is better than gold given at the wrong time. A timely tear is better than a misplaced smile. Where the camel is sold for a cent, the ass is worthless. One sin is too much, 100 prayers are not enough. Make bread while the oven is hot. The best memory is that which forgets nothing but injuries. The way a house is decorated will tell much about its owner. A friend is like a poem. As the wise man looks for a bridge, the fool crosses the river. I wept because I had no shoes, until I saw a man who had no feet. It is nothing for one to know something unless another knows you know it. A man without passion is no son of Adam. A man without a child is a king without sorrows. A sharp tongue will cut off its own head. Who has not had a taste longs to do so, but for whom has tasted, then the longing is 100 times more. The cripple will always find a stone to kick. Credit is better than wealth. It is not from the love of God that the cat catches mice. Fear those who do not fear God. It takes 2 days to learn everything about a man. To know animals you will need more time. Often the best way of giving oneself what one lacks is to take from oneself what one has. Give 9, save 10. Woe is he who claims to have found happiness. A man's servant can live for 100 years, the slave of a woman dies in 6 months. Every man is the king of his own beard. Every man goes down to his death bearing in his hands only that which he has given away. What is brought by the wind will be carried away by the wind. A blind man who sees is better than a sighted man who is blind. The lack of gold only a headache. You can't pick up 2 melons with one hand. He who doesn't go to war roars like a lion. Use your enemy's hand to catch a snake. Walls have mice and mice have ears. There are 3 kinds of enemy: the enemy himself, the friends of your enemy, and the enemies of your friends. Giving advice to the ignorant is like the rain falling on muddy ground. He who knows not, and knows not that he knows not, is a fool. Shun him. He who knows not, and knows that he knows not, is a child. Teach him. He who knows, and knows not that he knows, is asleep. Wake him. He who knows, and knows that he knows, is wise. Follow him. For walls make a man free. If you tell the truth too early, you are laughed at; too late and you are stoned. He is still alive because he cannot afford a funeral. When a cat wants to eat her kittens, she says they look like mice. If one has to jump a stream and knows how wide it is, he will not jump. If he does not know how wide it is, he will jump, and 6 times out of 10 he will make it. Do not let the cat watch over the bacon. If there are 2 cooks in one house, the soup is either too salty or too cold. The bride who wears 4 petticoats has a lot to hide. Luck is infatuated with the efficient. Bribery makes both parties happy. He who wants the rose must respect the thorn. Flies will easily fly into the honey, their problem is how to get out. The bigger a man's head, the worse his headache. A camel does not drink with a spoon. A gentle hand may lead even an elephant by a single hair. To sin in secret is more pleasant than having pleasure in the open. Korean proverbs, sayings, and quotes. Please don't forget to subscribe. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Rome wasn't built in a day. What looks good tastes good. Misery loves company. walls have ears. Out of sight, out of mind. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Two heads are better than one. There is always a way out. Where there's a will, there's a way. There is no use in crying over spilled milk. It is like a blind man describing an elephant. Don't rain on someone's parade. Laughter is the best medicine. To make trouble and then give help. A piece of cake. Genius shows itself from an early age. Birds of a feather flock together. Even a monkey sometimes falls from the tree. The parish priest forgets that he was once a parish clerk. The new replaces the old. Better to ask the way than to go astray. Clothes make the man. A pie in the sky. One good turn deserves another. Bad timing. It's often difficult to see what is right in front of you. Don't try to teach a fish how to swim. You automatically learn what you expose yourself to. Don't count your chickens before they are hatched. From rags to riches. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Empty vessels make the most sound. The pot calling the kettle black. Well begun is half done. A loaf of bread is better than the song of many birds. It is hard to get angry at a smiling face. There is a proper order for everything. You scratch where it itches. Look before you leap. Keep your cool even in the face of despair. Let the fox guard the sheep. You reap what you sow. If you buy cheap, you waste your money. There is no shortcut to learning. Help is needed at times. No pain, no gain. A soft answer turns away wrath. Even gentle people can lose their tempers. There is a way out of every situation. Things are never where you want them. Where there's smoke, there's fire. What goes up must come down. Actions speak louder than words. Better late than never. Honest is the best policy. Selling like hotcakes. Jack of all trades, master of none. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Fortune favors the brave. One hour today is worth 2 tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out videos you see on the screen. Have a good day.